Greetings, Culturians, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got to talk about the future of films, or future films, and the direction Hollywood is going is back to the future, or back to the past, or back to a more relevant period of time when films were made to entertain, and that's the only reason. And things like, let's say, Predator or Conan were like leading the way in this particular area, and to that end, we are looking forward to, believe it or not, Conan 3 with Arnold Schwarzenegger attached. That's right, I got a story for you, so here we go. Now, before we get started, quick reminder, double check you're still subscribed. If not, click the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and turn on all notifications. After that, it's a quick thumbs up, and give me a comment at the end if you want to see something like this. So from Variety, because that's where I'm going to start today, we have the news that Arnold Schwarzenegger says Conan 3 is in the works, reveals the new Predator movie talks, and Commando 2 script. Believe it or not, all these things are conversation starters. This guy's getting pretty old, but he's still in pretty good shape, and I think he'd be a good person to help make these things happen. So the studio has plenty of money to make these really big, and he's right about that, considering that a $250 million price tag doesn't seem out of reach for anybody these days. From the story itself, Schwarzenegger revealed that this year's Arnold Sports Festival in Columbus, Ohio, he is in talks to return to three of his most iconic action franchises: Predator, Conan the Barbarian, and Commando. That's insane. They did an additional Predator, and the director Dan Trachtenberg has been doing a great job of that. Now he wants me to be the next Predator.
You one ugly mother.
We've talked about it, Schwarzenegger said, to much applause from the convention crowd. As a matter of fact, Fox Studios has kind of rediscovered Arnold. They've come to me and said, we want you to do Predator. We just got to get a script for you to do Commando 2. And you know what? That's a good sign. Hollywood's been in big trouble for a while because they really don't know how to do anything but sequels. These are automatic sequels that work because they come from a better, uncorrupted time. And if they stay with the theme and the understanding that nobody wants anything but escape, they have essentially a golden goose here with a lot of golden eggs. Arnold's definitely the goose that can provide them. The question is, will they have enough stones to finish these projects? On the Conan front, Schwarzenegger said that the studio just hired a fantastic writer-director who did Tom Cruise's last 4 movies to write and direct King Conan.
Grant me revenge. If you do not listen, then to hell with you.
That's Conan 3, everybody. It would appear that the actor is referring to Christopher McQuarrie, who was collaborating with Cruise on the recent string of Mission Impossible movies, which I think were, only unsuccessful because they just came out with very poor timing. And the story doesn't stop there. It continues on over on Cosmic Book News, talking about King Conan being in the works with Christopher McQuarrie. And I think that's a good thing. In fact, I think it's one of the things that will guarantee success. You got, some successful thoughts from McQuarrie on various titles, and you also have a group of other talented people that have worked with him before. Everybody speaks quite highly, and despite the lack of performance from the last 2 Mission Impossible films, you can't blame it on Cruise or on him. It was just, there was an audience that was, divided up into too many properties at the time. They really had to pick their favorite and eventually only picked one. So there's where we are. And Schwarzenegger, during the course of this conversation, definitely said King Conan is finally moving forward. It sounds like it's going to be huge. Speaking at the Arnold Classic, as I mentioned before, he said they hired a great director to write and direct King Conan. And I think that all of that is true. Arnold also said that Fox has been talking to him about Predator and Commando 2, and those both really kind of exist, or at least they're going to exist. It's what is in development now.
Gravity.
I have to remind you, Sally, This is my week on.
Remember, Sally, when I promised to kill you last? I lied.
And according to Schwarzenegger, the new Conan movie would be written to fit where he is now in life instead of pretending that he's still a younger version of the character, which makes a lot of sense. He would rule over an empire at this point that he'd already conquered that we didn't get to see, unfortunately, off screen. And that is the only thing that I think is, well, where it may break down is he still in good enough shape to look like he can lead a people? My answer to that question is definitely. Arnold said specifically the idea is age appropriate but still action heavy, with Conan as an older king who has grown complacent. He gets pushed out and is forced back into conflict. Schwarzenegger described the movie filled with madness, violence, magic creatures, and the kind of bigger scale spectacle modern visual effects can now deliver, which means less heavy lifting for the big guy, and perhaps not having to hulk that sword around, although I don't think you would have any problem with it. And it lines up with the idea of an old King Conan that fans have been promoting over the last several years. It'll bring Arnold back to the sword and sorcery franchise with a sequel built around a very battle-worn and maybe complacent Conan, and I think that's a good thing. And after Arnold said that Fox rediscovered him, it sounds like they're willing to put a lot of money on him, and most of the studios are. Not to mention the fact that, well, this would benefit Disney in a way that I don't think they've had in quite some time, and it works with a director, writer that really knows what to do with characters like this. So Fox came to him about Predator and basically doing Commando 2, and it seems to be reviving multiple Arnold Schwarzenegger franchises, which is smart, just like they're, well, basically going back to Rambo. If you haven't seen those stories, we'll probably cover them later this week, but even Rambo's getting back in the act of even the prequel itself, which means you're going to have a lot of flash to the end of the story moments with Sylvester Stallone. And honestly, that's a good thing. Anyway, I just wanted this to be a quick update because we need things to look forward to. There's not a lot out there other than the Mario Galaxy movie that's coming out here pretty quickly, and maybe a couple of others this year. Maybe you're looking forward to a Spider-Man sequel, or you might even be looking forward to Doomsday. Anyway, let me know if you're looking forward to all these or any of these in the comments section down below. As always, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, we'll see ya, hopefully at one of these good movies.